Now that we've had a chance to talk about listening versus the little I or the big I, the listening from expanded consciousness or the constructed self, I want to take that a step deeper and ask you to pay attention if you notice that not only are you listening for what you already believe and what you already know and trying to confirm your knowledge base that's already existing, are you listening from a part of self? I spent a lot of time as a therapist working with people, trying to integrate parts of themselves, and most often it was a parent, it was the father or the mother, but it could be a teacher, it could be a mentor, it could be some other primary caregiver or significant person in your life that so impressed you that you swallowed them whole, that you took them in as almost a sub-personality. I had a few of those in my youth where I was actually hearing their voice in my head. I would actually talk to myself. They weren't talking to me, but I would talk to myself in their voice and reason things out from their perspective in their voice. There was only one or two like that. But pay attention. Are you listening from an introjected person from your history? And if you are, take a few moments just to set them aside. Take some breaths. Use the skills you've been taught into the training. Expand. Come into the big I. You can even shuttle, as some of the exercises have been, between the little I and the big I, between that particular sub-personality, or your mother, or your father, or in my case, 7th grade Latin teacher or something. And become conscious of how are you listening? Who's listening? And are you trading your genuine experience in the moment, your genuine presence from consciousness, that big I, are you trading it for some character, some construction, sub-personality of the constructed self, so that you feel smarter or more secure or it's more familiar? I understand that those mentors and primary caregivers and parental figures provided us a framework in our self-construction that was useful. It's a blessing to have a mentor. It's a blessing to have a parent. I mean, if they're not a toxic parent. These are blessings to an extent. But they're not a blessing when they're tuning your ears for their perspective, for the introjected perspective of the mentor. Because had you integrated the mentor, you wouldn't need to have them in there as a sub-personality. They would just be into the greater constructed self. So remember to take some time. Am I listening as my father? Am I listening as my mother? Am I listening as my freshman physics teacher? It was so impressive, such a dynamic personality. I was just watching some of the leading physicists, and one of them was the student of another famous one, and they were talking. He was talking, and I was watching both videos of the mentor, and they're both like Nobel Prize level scientists, and it was fascinating to see how the junior one, or the younger one, was talking almost exactly with the same cadence. He had completely absorbed the personality of his teacher. It was really fun to watch, and it's in some ways touching, but also, you had to think of, well, gee, did he become a clone? Is he a clone of the one? Is that a genius clone kind of thing? Anyhow, remember to pay attention if sub personality has hijacked your ears.